Hello, hello, hello! Rabbit Rouge, Starcraft Broodwar Remastered Replay Cast. We are on Radeon 1.2. We have a PVZ for you today between our Protoss player here, who is Jumper. He is playing a BSL qualifier, or on at least that ladder account. And he is playing against a Zerg player with the alias Zergasm. Which was one of the many reasons why I chose to cast this game. So, a little bit of a history for those of you who don't know. I played CPL Season 8, which was like probably 3 years ago. And Jumper was the Protoss player's coach. So that was where I first met him. I then came to watch his stream from time to time. I still keep in touch with it every now and again, watch him play. So as I have not been on the scene all that much recently, I thought let me just have a look at one of his games that I could find on Seed War. And I picked this one because, like I said, when you're playing against a guy named Zergasm, it's gonna have to be interesting, right? I mean, it can't really be boring. Although he has gone for a overpull, which is very, very standard against Protoss. And it looks like Jumper is setting up to do a Forge expand. Yeah, so we've been having some fun mixing up our casting style and doing compilation games, bringing in some TVZs, looking for games from specific players, looking at different MMR caps and game durations and stuff. So we're quite intentional with the kinds of games we're trying to find, and I must say it's working out incredibly. We find another old favorite on the foreign scene, Quark, who played a 30 minutes PVT, and if you haven't seen that game, I highly recommend watching it. The title will be something along the lines of Turtle versus Marine Medic Maniac, and I've seen a lot of StarCraft games, and I admit we all do exaggerate from time to time. This was a little bit of a sort of 12-12-12 kind of approach from Jumper, which I like. It's only really vulnerable to 9 pull, and as we've seen, our Zerg's gone over pull and nobody's scouted each other yet. So yeah, that was a game that I genuinely, when I say I've never seen anything like it, it is the truth. So we pulled a few probes just in case it is a 9 pull. The Zerg drone will come in here and probably turn around pretty sharply. There we go. Okay, so the probes are going to... Is he going to chase this probe? Really? Yeah, it's sending one probe after. Don't think he's scouted yet. In fact, this is his scouting probe. And he's just following him, which is pretty clever. So gateway comes in, gas comes in, he's starting his gases both at the same time. So this is a probably pretty fast tech build. No zealot on the way, so he may just go straight to a core when he has the money. Not spending his money on anything at the moment. But he does start the core before the zealot. So I expect the zealot will be incoming. There we go. Okay, so this is going to be a pretty fast Stargate. It's going to have pretty good visibility. This looks like a Hydra build from our Zerg. Oh, as I say that, he makes a lay. Okay. So we are certainly... I mean, it could still be a Hydra. It'll probably be a more of a 5-hatch or 6-hatch Hydra approach as opposed to 3-hatch. But we will see. I like this spread of Overlord and Ling for visibility. And yeah, so Forge is back in style for those of us who were wondering. We do still see the gateway expand quite a lot. We don't see 2 gates almost ever, so that the fashion that was is now been and gone. It is Forge, it is cannon rushing, it is all sorts of fun things. He has gone Citadel before Stargate. That's very interesting. We'll keep an eye on this. Galera's on the way. We are getting link speed, so yeah, okay, could be mutas. Could be mutas. Protoss has got very little by way of scouting information in this game so far. Second cannon on the way. So he's just kind of coin flipping that this is going to be Hydras. Getting himself another forge. Unless he's rushing Templar Archives, which he is. Okay, so this looks like the skipping Ser, potentially having a timing window, and then making Archons to protect against Mutas. We will see. The fourth base coming up from Mr. Zergasm, so he is very, very macro orientated. Spire is on the way. 2 gases are on the way, but our Protoss is totally blind. It's got no idea what he's up against. But he looks like he's playing against Hydras, if you ask me. I mean, to make this number of cannons blind is almost criminal. So DT is on the way. So perhaps his way of defending against Mutas is a Dark Archon. We'll see. We'll see, we'll see, we'll see. I'm using Burrow as well, just to spot anything that's happening. Zerg's got absolutely no threats here. Still making a sunken colony, which kinda... Well, I suppose he did see a couple of zealots, so it doesn't know exactly. And does have an overlord in the base and can see a couple of gateways coming up. Cannon. So he's now anticipating Mutas. I just think it's very wasteful to make... Okay, he did cancel one of these cannons, but still. Very wasteful to make all these cannons and not need them. So sending out a DT to get some scouting information. This middle of the road kind of build is where Protoss has come unstuck. 7 Mutas are on the way. So he is anticipating a bit of harassment, a bit of chatter. So our Mr. Zergasm seems to speak Korean. 1 kill, 2 kills, 3 kills. 3 drones for a DT, you tell me. Seems reasonable. So 3 gate Templars at the moment. Storm on the way. Oh, that was very, very poor. Sloppy play to give away that Overlord. Very, very unnecessary. It's against static defense. I mean, right, can't really get worse than that. Okie dokie, we have a Templar here who would be protecting against the Mutas. We've got quite a few cannons, so I mean he's quite snug, but it's come at a big cost because his ability to move out onto the map is very limited, and Zerg is getting very, very strong behind this. This would be the 5th base coming up at sub 8 minutes, and there are no real threats to any of these bases that Protoss is in a position to make. So yes, he does have his probe count where it needs to be. Yes, he does have a decent amount of tech. He's only got 4 gates, and yes, he's on double upgrades, but very much a defensive posture from our Protoss at this stage. And if you're Zerg and you've opened with a star, I mean, this is a lot of unnecessary sunkens as well. I don't know what exactly he's expecting to face here, but I don't know if he just doesn't want to make Hydras yet, but he just seems to be sunken man. I suppose you can do this if you're being left alone the way you have been, because he's got no units to move out with. Dark Archon is here to block against the Mutas. Now the explosion of... Oh, whipped entirely there. Oof. 3rd attempt does get a bit of bruising on the Mutas. And I think he's going to sack all of these Mutas in exchange for... I think he got 2 High Templars. I don't think that was worthwhile. Zerg is ahead on supply. This is how sluggish, in my opinion, this build, by making these futile cannons and not really scouting your opponent. Skipping Stargates, not worthwhile here, in my opinion, at all. If he'd gone Stargate, he would have been able to get away with a single cannon, and it would have sped his build up considerably as our Zerg expands and establishes base number 5. We do have Daryl the Dark Archon out and about. How are you, mate? Good to see ya. Couple of lonely zealots here that could be picked off if they're not careful. Yeah, Zerg's map control is just starting to look very scary. You can see Protoss kind of contained to very little visibility. Don't know what he's doing with these units though. Oh, Dark Archon being targeted down. I don't think he's maelstrommed him. Oh, he does! Storm him! Storm! Storm! There you go. Move! Oh, that was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Very, very satisfying. Okay, so Protoss does move into the supply lead. Probably has a window now where it needs to try and establish a third. Zerg still has unbelievable scaling potential with all these sunkens, bases that are difficult to break on the high ground. He could make lurkers and hydras. This is the thing. He's making a second spire though, which tells me he wants to do some sort of weird guardian rubbish. His Templar hunting continues, and he's just fighting these goons. There's only a handful of them, so these mutas aren't trading too badly here at all. Meanwhile, a few zealots have decided, well, screw you guys, we're going somewhere else. And the other zealots are going home with their tails between their legs. So, a little scrappy, but these zealots have made it here to get wrecked by these sunkens. Don't really know what the point of that was. And these mutas are like, nah man, we'll take on a few cannons. Clutch storm there though. Very nice, very nice. Well, the game's heating up a bit now. Getting a bit of action, a bit of to and fro. But it's definitely on Jumper to make the play here. He needs to establish the third, and he needs to start contending for bases, because if he leaves Zerg for much longer, I don't see him being able to fight with the macroeconomic power of the Zerg. 54 drones, 5 bases, can easily become 6. A lot of positions are becoming increasingly more difficult to break. And if he stops being such a potato, he's got Hive Tech now, and he actually builds Hydra in, because he's skipping Hydra entirely here. He's just playing... He's probably going to go Ling, Defiler, maybe even Ultra. I don't know. It's trash talking him now here. Just playing Mutas, Sunkens. That's it. Even burrows his drones. Yeah, these positions are incredibly hard to break. This is a one game as Protoss where you don't actually want to have skipped Stargate, because your opponent is just having a massive commitment to air. 2 spires. I mean, this is just nuts. Is one of them going to become a greater spire? It does deny this expansion, but not for very long, I wouldn't imagine. Look at the amount of mutas this guy's got. Crazy. Hi. Did you want to establish a new base here? It doesn't really suit us. Sorry, bro. Let's throw a storm down. All that does is it triggers the mutas to come and kill what's here, and there come more mutas. He's like, well, you've got zealots. I can beat zealots. Zealots don't shoot up. Yeah, Protoss needs a new plan, guys. He's making more zealots. Okay, so his solution to having a bunch of zealots that can't attack mutas is to make more of them. Okay, if you say so. I do want to see a little Archon Maelstrom combo again. I think that would be beautiful. Possibly the plan now. Does have the, I think it's 150 for Maelstrom, so nearly has the energy for it. Okay, so attempt number 2, both floating heaps of money. Nearly storms his own probe, which I would have laughed out loud for if that had happened. Expands here. It's floating some money, as I've said. Needs to pump out around the macro. This guy is just Mutaman. This is just absolute Mutaman. It is insane. There it is. Storm him! Storm him! Boof! I don't know why that brings me so much joy. It's just so fun to watch. Meanwhile, behind this, our Zerg is expanding even more. He's literally made muted. That's all he's made this game. And he's expanded here, expanded here, expanded here. And I don't know why he's moving all these zealots around, because Zealots are gonna have a tough time fighting against Muta Man. Make a lot of cannons though. That could be helpful. Oh my god, the Mutas, the Mutas, the Mutas, Mutas, the Mutas, Muta Man. Oh, good storm here. Taking on this Archon. Doesn't seem to phase about the splash damage. I don't think he's microing all these fights. This thing has a split up between absolute chaos here. So there's only 1 or 2 meters there. There's plenty over here though. What a fun game this is, although more High Templars being picked off, more somewhat futile Zealots. So again, the unit Jumper's making is another freaking Zealot. Can you please tell me why you're making Zealots? You're playing against a guy who's made 1 unit. Mutas. Like, seriously, bro. It's probably because he doesn't have any gas. Yes, here. Ah, okay. We're now making our first Corsair. I think that's a good idea. And we're getting +1 air. Also good. Because this guy is just an unbelievable commitment to mutas. We even freaking maelstromed our own shit. That was fun. So we haven't got this base up and running as of yet. Look at the map presence of the Zerg. This is just insane. Like, Protoss has got no chance now. Look at this. Airman. Airman, he's making Guardians. Let's go. And Cracklings. Oh no. Oh no. What are your Zealots going to achieve against the 100 Sunkens, bro? I think he just has a stuck Z button or something. I don't know. Oh dear. I'm hearing things. Ah! 2 Corsairs have arrived! They're gonna have a bleak day against these mutas though. Yeah, okay, good idea. You turn around. He's just so contained. Look at this map. He's just got this entire L. And as much as he made a lot of cannons, the Guardians are just gonna clean these cannons up. Upgrades running on both the spires. Uh-oh. SkyZerg. Oh, that's a nice maelstrom. Storm in, man! Come on! All these zealots are standing watching. Thank you for making us so we can cheer you on. Go! Of course, let's go! We believe in you! Finally, the zealots come into their own. They can take on some of these cracklings. But a massive Corsairs has arrived now, and suddenly Mr. Zergasm is running into a few problems. His unit comp is perhaps not as juicy as he was hoping, although he's got some more crabs here, but nothing to kill these Corsairs. So these Guardians are just getting absolutely wrecked. So his solution is, don't worry about it. I'll just fire down on what I can. Well, the Corsairs are having a good time. It's a really good day to be a Corsair pilot when nothing, and when I say nothing, I mean nothing shoots you. That is, yeah, okay. Well, there we go. Now what, Mr. Zerg? That was, somewhat appalling. Yeah, we're gonna kill all the overlords now. Why not? You got the Corsairs, use them. Okay, so we mined out of our main and natural. We've got 1 mining base. So Protoss's only real win condition here is to go and destroy Zerg bases and take a few of their own behind it. So good luck with that against these cracklings. There's a lot of them. He has not converted these into Sunkens as of yet, but he will do that right now as I say it. Couple of Scourge here, reducing the Corsair fleet, but the Corsairs have become a huge threat in this game suddenly. Also, some Ultralists have arrived, because why not play with every unit that you don't normally see in this match? You know what I mean? Some Spores making themselves useful. Zealots trying to come into their own, but these Ultras are strong, buddy. Alright, so we have denied a base here, because our Zerg couldn't split himself absolutely everywhere, and I think Jumper's done a nice job in splitting that up. There's another base here as well. The key, though, is behind all this attacking would be to establish a base of his own. Where is he going to do? He's got to take this top right part of this map. He's got to knock this down. And he's got to get the right half of the map. Otherwise, he's just going to run out of money. Well, the Corsairs have really had a lot of fun. Dude, oh, the DTs have arrived. Hello. So we're making a whole clump of DTs because we've got the Corsairs to knock all the Overlords away. That's actually pretty smart. There's nothing here. Okay. None of these are Spores, are they? Nope. Ah. One of them was a Spore. Not gonna matter much though. Let's borrow the drones. Some of them anyway. Meanwhile, these freaking Corsairs are still all up in his business. Oh, well, that's the end of that. A couple of counterattacks here. Lots of cannons though. No defilers or anything, so this is going to be fairly easy to hold. Does sack a lot of his DTs there, unfortunately. Oh, good storms. I don't understand why he made Guardians. Guardians really didn't do much for him. Somebody needs a fourth base though. Otherwise all of this is just going to be for nothing. DT Corsair. Okay, this is your moment, man. This is really the worst place to push, though. Wicked speedy. Okay, if you say so. The Spores can see you, bro. Yeah, the Spores can, not the Overlords. So that's, like I said, probably the worst place to push. I think if anywhere, this is also rough. And you need to be expanding yourself, which he is not doing. And you need to be geared to protect that position. Oh, he's got so much static defense here. I just think that he lets it get too strong. It's just he has to break and expand at the same time without running out of money, and that's just not going to happen. I watch a lot of his games, and in PvZ when he loses, this tends to be the pattern. And it's not just a jumper thing, it's kind of how Zergs beat the Protosses. They just get too strong, they just spread too far, too fast. And it often comes down to misreading the start. The beginning, the early game in PvZ is very, very important because it impacts so much of the mid and late game. Oh, Hydras have arrived, so he does know how to make them. That's cool. Good to see, good to know. Don't know how you're going to fight against these invisible men though. Oh, here's an Overlord, never mind, you're good. Once you take all these Overlords on, It's now ahead in supply here. And I think the trash talking has begun. Of course, DT burrows. Doesn't have an observer. Hasn't seen a lurker all game. Is unlikely to. He's making an observer now, though, for this reason. Sending in some units to try and protect this base, because that is inevitably, I think, where our Zerg will attack him. Let's tidy up. This is a very strange composition, but it's been a fun game. Just dynamic. Sky Toss Maniac versus our Jumper. SkyZerg Maniac. I think Hydras will do pretty well here. Lots of Overlords to protect against any DTs. He's sending his Corsairs back, but now there's some Hydras to contend with the Corsairs. This is all his reinforcing units are going to come from. So the Hydras can at least fire on. There's more Hydras coming as well. So this could be a tough one. Storm would be good. That's going down. Now there's nothing protecting this brand new source income except a handful of DTs and some cannons. But it does make him quite vulnerable. Keeping an eye on the red, that is moving towards that position. It's about to converge. DT though, sort of manning the fort. Building up a very scary, very menacing approaching army here. Uh-oh. Just with enough overlords, that's going to be it. Mr. Zergasm has started to trash talk his friend knowing that it's over. And I think it's just a matter of moments before Jumper leaves the game. Does fight to the end, which is fair enough. A couple of Scourge joining the fray as well. That's it. Good game, fun to watch. I think that the Zerg probably just allowed to get on 4 to 5 bases, sub 8 minutes. Just poor scouting from Jump. I think skipping Stargate really cost him. He made 3 cannons that were totally unnecessary, and was unable to establish a third, was unable to wrestle any map control, and just got absolutely crushed in resources, as we can see. Just wasn't able to... It's just a pure macro loss, you know, in terms of his trades, the way he fought. He made too many zealots, in my opinion. Didn't adapt to his unit compositions the way he needed to. But it was a good game. It's a fun game. And a very convincing win from our Zerg. I'll be mixing it up, casting all sorts of different skill levels in games, because I think it's a lot of fun to do so, showcasing various levels on the ladder. So this is probably like a high B rank, low A rank kind of game. It was a lot of fun to cast, and if you enjoy this kind of thing, do let me know. And until next time, take it easy, man. I'll see you soon.